Hi, everybody. This is Mark Bellino with Fastpath. We're going to take a short look at using uh, another user to be able to create users in GP. This is a user other than SA and how to set that up. So this comes from the Microsoft Dynamics GP Planning for Security Guide that nobody ever seems to read. If you drop down to Chapter 7, page 35, there's 5 options to be able to set up users inside of Dynamics GP. Option 1 is Use SA, which is really not the preferred option from a security standpoint. Option 2 that I've highlighted and we'll look at is assign a user the sysadmin fixed SQL role. So we'll talk about that in a minute. And then items 3, 4, and 5 are really variations on that, and in some cases more complicated variations. So there are some other options. We're going to talk about option 2. If you want to see the others, you know where to get it. Planning for Security, the Microsoft Dynamics GP Guide. So the way that this works, let's hop over to SQL Server. This is SQL Server Management Studio. I am logged in as SA right now in order to be able to assign the permissions. So you do need someone who's SA or sysadmin or with appropriate rights to be able to set these permissions the first time. So here's my GP, there's Dynamics, there's my company database. I'm going to come all the way down below those to security and expand out security and logins and Empolino. Right click, you can also double click it, but I'm going to right click and hit properties. And here we get login properties. So to set this up, I'm just going to pick server roles, give this user the sysadmin server role. Now, this doesn't mean that this user has access to SQL Server. The reality is because they are a GP user, that password that is used to log into GP is encrypted and changed before it goes into SQL Server, so it can't be used to log into SQL Server Studio. So, for example, if I come here and try to connect using that, I get an error message that says that I can't connect. So even though that I'm the sysadmin, I have the sysadmin role, I don't have the appropriate password. That password only works when it's passed through Dynamics GP. And then once I'm in Dynamics GP, this user is still subject to GP security. So they can only do things within the context of GP. So for example, GP doesn't have any access to many of these other databases here. There's no way that I can access them through GP just because my user has the sysadmin role. Very quick, let's see what this looks like inside of GP. So I'm going to log in. And once GP finishes, I'm going to go to administrator. Now, this particular user does already have rights, but this is all controlled within GP security. So even if someone has the sysadmin rights, if inside of GP security, they are denied rights to security or they're denied rights to the user, window, then they're still going to be unable to do anything. Whoops. Sorry about that. All right, user here, and I can create a new user at that point. I can give this user a temporary password. You'll see all of my stuff is active, and then I can actually save this user. Now, just because I can create a user here doesn't mean that I can assign security. Again, the ability to assign security is controlled by GP security. There are a couple of other benefits to this method. The backup mechanism in GP is available to this user, assuming they have access to security. So Microsoft Dynamics GP maintenance and backup would be available for this user without being SA, and a few other things that are detailed in the security guide. So that's our quick look. We will be doing a much deeper dive and deeper look at this, so stay tuned for that and have a great day.